In today's video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how you can move in silence. Actions that you can take to move in silence. This is a follow-up video on my previous videos on the power of silence and the benefits of silence. So I'm hoping that by the end of this video, you will know actual ways that you can move in silence. If that is what you are here for, please stick to the end because I have very amazing actions to share with you today. Let's get straight into the video. Moving in silence, just taking actions in silence to achieve a project or to execute a project without announcing it or without announcing its progress. It can apply to your job, it can apply to a business or any activity that you really don't have interest or the willingness to share. So the first way to move in silence is to lead by your actions. We don't have to share everything from when it is conceived to when it is executed. If you have an idea, you want to buy a car, if you don't plan on sharing it, start working on it until it gets to that point where you have to share in order for the process to continue to the end for you to get results. Launch the business. Let the launching actually be the you sharing, because at that point, that is where or when you actually have to share before your business can take off and make you money and eventually bring you success. But until that point where you are launching the business, do not share with anyone. You can share it with your coach, your business coach, with your mentor, but do not share it with everybody. So that's the first way to move in silence. The good thing with just leading with action is that sometimes when we overshare, we end up not producing the results, and that can be really very embarrassing. It is better to be silent and over deliver than to talk too much about anything and then fail at it. It is very embarrassing, and to some people, they cannot handle that. There are people who do not care, people's opinions don't matter. But if you're that person who doesn't have a strong will to deal with the shame that may come or to deal with people's opinions when you fail, then leading in silence is the best way to go. Before I move on to the next, I would like for you to support my channel, and it is free to support the channel. You just have to subscribe, and you can comment below with other ways that you move in silence so we can all learn from that. Make sure that you like the video, okay, so that YouTube can also share the video to more people. Let's move on to the next point. Another way to move in silence is to be different, okay? In this era of social media, we all look alike, we all want to do the same thing. So if A is a nurse, everyone has to be a nurse. Dare to be different, okay? When you do everything everyone else is doing, you become so predictable that you even don't have to share things about yourself. People just know. People just know that if there is a baby shower over there, you're coming over and you're going to be wearing a red dress. People just know that if there is any gossip anywhere, you will likely be part of that gossip. So dare to be different and just be unique in your own way. When you are unique, you are not predictable. People don't know your moves, they don't know what you're up to. They will be surprised at any moment you show up or that you say something. So that's one way to move in silence. Do not be predictable and do not try to fit in. Do not try to do what everyone else is doing. Be mysterious. Another way to move in silence is to live like an introvert. Introverts like to be alone. They don't share their stuff. They don't bother what other people are doing. They like their alone time. They really don't share too much. They do all the things I've listed above and more. Find out how introverts live their lives and try to live like them. People think that introverts, they are stupid or that they are not happy people, but you know what? Introverts are the most intelligent, most smart people I know, and they're always working on something, okay? You are not gonna know because they will look like the dumb person in the room. They don't talk too much, they don't initiate conversations too much, they observe a lot. While a lot of people go on in the room, introverts actually learn from people. They overthink things before they respond or before they react. Become more like an introvert. Another way to move in silence is to stay focused. Find something, be busy with what you are doing. If you're busy, you will not have time to engage in silly conversations, sharing your business to the world. When you focus, when you are working on things that are really important, these things usually require that we work on them alone. That means some quiet time that you just have to focus on the thing. So you can focus on your school, on your goals, on your family. Another way to move in silence is to grow your self-esteem. If you're very confident in yourself, then sometimes you really don't have to say a word. Sometimes we say things because we feel the need to over-explain ourselves so that we can be validated. But if you have inner self-confidence, if you have self-esteem, then you don't need to over-explain yourself and end up saying things you never meant to say just because you want to win the conversation, just because you want to prove that you know better. Have or develop high self-esteem, and I have videos on my channel on how to grow or actions to take to increase confidence. Once you have high self-esteem, you may not need to share things on social media to get approval. You may not need to over-explain yourself so that someone should approve you or like you and things like that. And by so doing, you will be keeping a lot of things within you and not have to share them. Another way to move in silence is really to ask yourself at any point in time how sharing what you want to share might benefit anyone. What I am about to share now, how is it going to benefit me by sharing this information to this person? How is me sharing this information to this person going to actually benefit them? If there is no benefit to yourself for sharing the information, or if there is no benefit to the recipient or the receiver of that information, that may be a good way to move in silence. Questioning yourself at a particular moment who that information should benefit can actually stop you from oversharing and therefore help you to continue to do that activity or leave that thought with you and not have to share it, and thereby continue to move in silence. Another way to move in silence is really just to decide to be a secretive person. Just be a private person. Just care about your privacy, okay? Just care about your business. Care about keeping your things to yourself. If you value what you're doing, if you cherish what you're doing, if you care about what you're doing and you really just want to protect it, that's the right word, protect. If you care enough to protect your life, things you do, especially the things that you don't plan to share, you should actually proactively be a secret service person for yourself. Be discreet about what you share. That is actually one way to move in silence. Sometimes it doesn't help to have people around us who talk too much, who ask questions. If you're someone who shares a lot and you want to be secretive and you always find yourself around people who ask too many questions that prompt you to say things, then it's best to become secretive. Avoid these persons at times, and even when you are around these people, if your intent is not to share, just be silent. Do not say anything. Only respond when someone asks you questions, and even before you respond to the questions, think about it before you respond. Another way to be secretive is by not actually performing some activities around the people that you don't want them to know about the thing. If you were in your home and you were about to make a phone call to your mom and talk about something, and there was that person in your house you didn't want to share that information with, the best action to take at that time is not to say that thing over the phone. If it was something you were doing and it's something that you don't plan to share out there, say you were working on a business and you're actually working on a product, a physical product, and the doorbell rang and you didn't want whoever was coming to know, you keep the stuff away. So either you stop the activity in the presence of the people you don't want to share the information to, or you don't initiate the conversations, or you don't talk to other people about the things that you don't want to share to the people that are around you at the moment. So another thing is, again, just to limit your talking and only talk when someone initiates a conversation. Only respond to their question. Sometimes you might be super excited about something and let them worry why you are not contributing to the conversation. Hold on to be the one to voluntarily give an opinion to the conversation. Wait until they ask you what is your opinion about it, because the time that it takes you to just listen and not want to say something, that will be enough time for you to actually listen to what everyone else is saying and probably exactly just respond to their questions. On the other hand, within a conversation or during a conversation, maybe if you decide to say something, you can find yourself saying the thing that you didn't want. So if no one is asking you, don't share. And if they are asking you while they are talking, think about what your response is and actually respond their question. Okay, it's like when you're crossing the border, do not prompt the officers at the border to ask you more questions. Another way to actually slow down responses is by using the 3, 2, 1 rule. When someone asks you a question, just count down. You can start counting down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in your head. While you're counting down, this is when you're making sure that what you're about to say is not what you planned not to say. But then you tell the person, nothing is really going on in my life. So try to have some conversations in your head when someone asks you something or when you are in a conversation, because when you say it out loud in your head, that can prompt you that that is not what you should say. That's not what you want to share now, and so you will come out with something else to share. Another way to move in silence is to stop sharing stuff on social media. Content creators get paid, or they are paid to share stuff online because that's how they make their money. If you are not a content creator, you're really not obliged to share anything online. If you just bought a car, you're not obliged to take a picture of the car and share online. You are having dinner at a restaurant, you're not obliged to take a picture at a restaurant and share. Not sharing stuff, you can have an online presence and not share the things in your life that you don't want to share. For some person, it might mean not sharing anything at all if you don't want to share anything about your life. But for some people, they are discreet and they know what they want to share. They would share what they want to share and not share what they don't want to share. So the act of sharing will inform people about a thing, and the act of keeping everything that we have off of social media is one way to not let people know what's going on in your life. Another way to go, if you absolutely cannot avoid to share so far as you are on the app, it will be to delete the app. Delete the Facebook, delete the Instagram, delete the YouTube app, your TikTok, okay? Because if you have the apps on your phone and you cannot hold yourself from sharing, then the ultimate way to move in silence will be to delete the apps. Sharing things, a lot of things online does nothing, but sometimes invites a lot of envy and jealousy, and definitely these things bring negative energy. Another way to move in silence is to find your tribe, some good friends, your die-hard friends. There's a video on my channel on friends to watch out for. So if you have friends that do not belong to the list I mentioned in that video, and you can share only to these friends, okay? So if you have a tribe of people that you trust, one way to move in silence is just share to these people and not to the entire world. Another way to move in silence is to share only to your therapist or to your mentor. We all have people we look up to, and these are people who will advise us critically. They will say good if it's a good, and they will tell you genuinely if it's a bad thing, and they will also not force you to choose either the good one or the bad one. Therapist, your mentor, will be a good place to go and share your stuff. That will be one way to move in silence. So if you've watched up to this point, I hope that you have found, or that you are finding, value in this video, and I hope that when you leave the video, you would have actually actions that you can take to move in silence. Oversharing really is not good to anyone, and this is actually something that we have to watch out for. I have videos on my channel on the power of silence and things that we should actually keep private, and I also have a video on the advantages of being silent. So I'll leave those two videos on the screen here so you can watch them. Watch my motivation series because there's all sorts of videos, things women should not do, how to make money, how to find jobs and things like that, because we're all about self-improvement and making money on this channel. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope to see you back here again very soon. So see you soon.